So today we've come down to have a chat with Jane from Beaufort Street Books here in Mount Lawley to find out a little bit about the inspiration, the story, and how this all began, how the store started, and go from there.
Well, gosh, it's been 9 years since we opened. We opened in June 2010. It sort of feels like it was yesterday, but it also feels like it was a long time ago. There's been a lot that's happened. My previous job, I was a national marketing manager with medical devices. Prior to that, I actually was a nurse. From there, went on to do a business degree and wanted to do something where I would still be hands-on. It's probably the best thing I've ever done in my life. Yeah. It's funny because I tell people that owning a bookstore is actually very much like being a nurse. There's just no bedpans in here. Because you still have to really listen to what people want or the sort of person that they're trying to buy for. People come in and they'll go, oh, I've got to buy for my uncle so-and-so, and I've got no idea what to get him. You can generally pick up on something, and if you know the stock that you've got, you can match that personality, and that is the greatest joy of what we do is when someone comes back and says, you nailed it.
You got it. What have you loved so much about the one thing that you've loved the most about what you've done with the store so far? I know it's a hard one.
The impact on children's lives. It far outweighs anything I even anticipated. Gotcha. Just to be able to see a child go from zero to, now we've got them, we've seen them grow up and they're 9 now, but we've seen kids, obviously coming in their early days of exploring books, and they're into high school now, and some of them, it's just amazing to see that the change in the kids and their journey with the books. And they can be walking past the street out the front and they'll yell in, hi Jane. And it's really lovely to be a part of the community.
To see the evolution, and you've done everything right, from yoga
we do run yoga in here, which does make seem a bit unusual when people come in and see that. We used to run movie nights in here too. And we then had some of the local restaurants. We worked with them so that people that came to the movie night could order something and pay for it as a pre-order. Fantastic. And then we would get those restaurants to deliver it at 7:30, where we would break for intermission. And then people would sort of eat their food, and people would BYO, and someone might come on their own, they didn't have anything to drink, people would be sharing, have a glass of wine. Fantastic. It was just a lovely community feel.
I really wanted to have a chat around some of the things you are currently doing involving the community through the store, because it's much more than a bookstore.
It is, and I think bookstores they're that third space of learning. So where we've got schools, we've got universities, we have bookstores, and we're about to have one of our children's bookstore book clubs start here. But we often will get chefs in here if they've got a new book out, and we don't actually just do it in conversation like we're doing. We cook the food out of their book, because it's a really tangible experience that then people attending can have of that author and that chef. We've made pasta in here before.
As well.
We've had burger night. We made pizzas. We made pasta dough. We've had a curry night. We had Anna Gare in here, and I put her to work chopping the onions. Sorry, Anna.
Fair to say you got a local community-based store when even the local dogs know there's a treat.
We have been known. The dogs know that they can come in and get the duck jerky from behind the counter.
That's the reason you behind it.
Just recently, there's a couple that have got a dog, and they went away on holiday, and there was a guy house sitting and obviously walking the dog. And he's walking up and down Beaufort Street with the dog, and that's fine. All of a sudden, the dog gets to our doorway. The dog's trying to drag him in. He's like, what is this dog, read or something?
Had no idea.
And I could see the dog, and I went out and I said, this is why. And he goes, I don't get it. Like, we've been past so many shops. He's not wanted to go in. And here, he's desperate to come in.
With your book clubs, can we talk a bit more about that? So how many do you offer?
We have 4 children's book clubs. We have 5 adult book clubs. One we run during the day, the other 4 are in the evening. And we have 3 cookbook book clubs, which are just a little bit different. And they have the longest wait list. We actually also run one at Lamont's in Cottesloe. Because, I live over that way, and I was chatting to Kate about it. And I said, because she's got a book coming out, I said, we can offer it to our cookbook club.
Fantastic.
And she said, what's a cookbook club?
Yes.
And so I explained it to her and I said, oh, but the wait list is so long. She said, why don't we start one here? And I'm like, really? Do you want people bring food in here? She goes, why not?
Oh, fantastic.
So yeah, it's quite the talk down there because there's all these people bringing food into a restaurant.
Yeah, gotcha.
Which is about as weird as bringing food into a bookstore.
I have to bring up the Brickmaster competition because I'm so impressed walking through.
I know.
I know it closed yesterday.
Yesterday entries, closed. So this is the first year that we've decided to run it for Love Your Bookshop Day, which is Saturday week.
10th of August.
The 10th of August.
Yep.
And I think we'll be doing it every year just because of the joy on some of the kids' faces and the amazement and the handprints on the window out the front now, you can see.
It's drawn on the 9th of August, so just before Love Your Bookshop.
So voting will finish on the 9th.
Yep.
And on the 10th we'll announce the winner. We started sausage sizzles on Saturdays out the front.
Yes.
Very weird for a bookstore to be buying a barbecue, but and it's not us actually running them. I've put it out to all the local schools that they can come down and use it and raise money for their local schools by having the PNC run it.
Yeah, fantastic.
And so Love Your Bookshop Day though, we're actually going to have authors and illustrators cooking the sausages, and we'll raise money for Indigenous literacy that day. So
fantastic, and that's going to run between 11 and 3. On the 10th
Saturday,
You do a lot of work with the local schools. Can you explain a little bit of the stuff that you do behind the scenes that people may not be aware of?
Yeah, well, since we opened, we obviously wanted the children's area to be a major feature, but it really became quite apparent with how many primary schools are in the vicinity within a 4K radius of here. That it really needed to be a strong focus. But we wanted to encourage and work with schools to provide them with the quality type of books to go into their library, but also to give them some rewards for working with us. Someone could come in and purchase a book and they would earn themselves loyalty rewards, but they could earn a school of their choosing loyalty rewards as well for that school then to spend money on buying books for the library.
With your orphanites, I'd love to have a chat around that. There's
a story behind somebody's story, even if they're writing a work of fiction. There are inspirations. One of our favourite children's authors, Sally Rippon, she has written the Billy B. Brown and recently the Polly and Buster, and we take her out to schools and things as well as in-store. And she says there's only two places that stories come from, either your experiences or your imagination, and that's the same for adult writers as well. That's a really lovely part of hearing how that author's work has come to be, and often the years that it's gone into write it as well.
Absolutely, and I've witnessed one of those clubs, and I was really impressed how the author was able to read with the right tonality, so the people around it really got to feel it, because sometimes you can put a different meaning to it.
Exactly,
So that was really, really good. You're very supportive of local authors as well as touring authors come across. What's your view on all that?
We have a teacher and librarian or educational assistant night once a term. So we invite some local authors in, one or two, and some of them the schools don't know about yet. And just in a relaxed environment, they get to meet those authors, find out how their book came about, like we do a normal in conversation, but it's more about how then the schools and the teachers can maybe utilise those authors to help children either in their reading or writing. Well, just recently I was offered by the publisher, it might have been last year or the year before, Gail Kelly had a biography out, and I knew we'd be able to get a decent crowd, so I asked if we could use their facilities, but also said, look, if we can get maybe Gail to speak to the year 11 and year 12s, would you be interested? And to have somebody of Gail Kelly, CEO Westpac, speak to the girls that are graduating or about to graduating. It was amazing. Excuse me, she was actually just remembering it.
What's your vision for the store in the future? Where do you want to take it?
Do you know, it would be really nice if one of the kids that we've seen grow up through the store wanted to buy it one day. That would be lovely to see it. That could keep on going and giving back to the community, which would be good.
Thank you for having a chat.
That's all right.
It's great to come and talk to you. Thank you again.